Evolution 2 is finally happening. WWE announced that the all-women's PLE is taking place on July 13th at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And given that we haven't had an all-women's PLE since 2018, this is a big deal. And here's the thing. Right now, WWE has so many talented wrestlers, so many women that could be on this card. There is no shortage of performers. In fact, they may even have too many. So today, I'm going to take the challenge and try to figure out which matches we're gonna be seeing on the Evolution 2 card. So let's do this. Let's see what matches might be booked. All right, so the way that I'm going to format this video is I'm separating it by brand because I figured that would probably be the easiest to come up with some realistic matches of what can actually be put on this show. So I'm gonna kick things off with Monday Night Raw, baby. And the first match that I am predicting will be on the show is Lyra Valkyria versus Stephanie Vaquer for the IC title. You're probably thinking, Denise, what now? I'm predicting Lyra Valkyria once again defeats Becky Lynch, this time with the help of Bayley. Because if you guys recall, Bayley was taken out by Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch essentially took her spot in the WrestleMania matchup. So I think Bayley should cost Becky Lynch her matchup against Lyra at Money in the Bank. I'm just there. That's what I'm thinking. So I still think that come Evolution, I still think that Lyra Valkyria will be champion, and I think she should be going up against Stephanie Vaquer. All right, so now that I stated some of my Money in the Bank predictions for how things may go down with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, well, that leaves me with, well, what is Becky Lynch gonna do on this show? I believe that we are gonna be seeing Becky Lynch versus Bayley. Now, I know some of you guys are like, that's not necessarily a new matchup by any means, but you can never go bad with the classic matchup. And I would like to be reminded of what these two can do in the ring. So for me, I would love to see Bayley versus Becky once again, and for it to happen at Evolution with Bayley, our girl, returning and doing her thing in the ring. When I was coming up with what matches would be taking place at Evolution, I didn't want to just do random matches that I would like to see. I wanted to do something that made sense with the stories that we're currently seeing unfold on the programming. I wanted these to be realistic. So the other one that I went with right now is Roxanne Perez versus Liv Morgan. This is one that I think by the time we get to Evolution will be fully fledged. As we've been seeing on Monday Night Raw, Roxanne Perez, well, she was giving the ojos to Dominic Mysterio, and Dominic Mysterio was giving her the ojos back. That's eyes in Spanish, by the way. Liv Morgan caught that, and Liv Morgan recently lost a match on Monday Night Raw at the hands of Roxanne Perez distracting Raquel, and that causing a distraction for Liv Morgan. So that's where we're at as of this video. So we know that Roxanne and Liv Morgan, that there's going to be a rift there. There's going to be some tension. And I do think that that eruption will happen just in time for them to have this Evolution 2 matchup. Now, another matchup that has been teased is Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. So we have seen these two girls team up a couple of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw when they took on Julia and Roxanne Perez. And it was during that moment that we saw Rhea Ripley kind of eye her former Women's World Championship, and as Io is holding it. So I think they've told us plenty of times that, hey, this match, this one-on-one match, it's still a possibility. We've seen them in that triple threat match with Bianca Belair at WrestleMania, and I have spoken so much about that matchup because you guys know how much I loved it, how much you guys probably loved it, so I don't need to rehash that, but we know that they have great chemistry, and I really do think that we should see Io versus Rhea. But then again, like, there are so many possibilities, so many different directions they can go in with both Rhea and Io, but this feels like the most realistic option right now. Now, before we get into NXT and SmackDown match possibilities for Evolution, I gotta tell you, I'm very excited about Evolution 2 because of all the possibilities that we can have, because you guys know the women are money. But if you want to make sure your money too and that you cash out, well, I gotta tell you about MyBookie. MyBookie is the sponsor of today's video, and now that Backlash is in the book, winners got paid. Now it's time to regroup before the storm hits. Just like WWE, the real setup is already in motion. Every promo, every face-off, every backstage stare down on Raw and SmackDown is building toward one thing: Money in the Bank. And if you know anything about Money in the Bank, you know chaos is coming. Surprise cash-in, career-defining moments, wild upsets. It's one of the most unpredictable cards of the year. Even if you've never bet on WWE before, this is your window. Keep one eye on WWE and the other on MyBookie. When the lines go live, they won't sit for long. Lock in now. Go to MyBookie now, use my promo code Denise, and boost your bankroll. Deposit $50, get an extra $25, go bigger with $100, and MyBookie will throw in $50. That's smart, stay ready, and cash in when it counts only at MyBookie. Alrighty, now let's go ahead and get into the SmackDown side of things. So I'll be real with you, I kind of struggled with the SmackDown side. I really wasn't sure where we would be at by the time we got to Evolution. So I tried my best on this one. However, I'm not feeling super confident about all of my decisions that I made here for possible matchups. So I want to start off with the United States Championship picture. So as of this video right now, Zelina Vega is still our champion. Now, she has been confronted by Julia a couple of times on last night's SmackDown. So it seems like Julia may be the one to take that United States Championship from her. Whether it happens before Evolution 2 or at Evolution 2, that's another question. So I decided to gamble with the idea that it would happen at Evolution 2. I started to think, well, you're gonna need some more than just like one-on-one matches. You're gonna need some like multi-women matches so that you can get some more women on the card. This is a special PLE. Every woman in WWE is gonna want to be part of it, and it's gonna be sucky if you're kind of left out. So I wanted to include some multi-women matches as well. So for the US title, I decided to go with Zelina defending against Julia, Alexa Bliss, and Chelsea Green. Only because I don't really know what is going on with Alexa Bliss. I don't really know what's next for her. I don't really know where she fits in right now. So I'm kind of throwing her in there. Julia, it's clear she's coming for the US Championship. Chelsea Green, well, that's her title. She was the inaugural champ. And then, of course, Zelina's a champion right now. So whether it happens before or during, Julia is my prediction for United States champion. Alrighty, so with this next one, I'm kind of just throwing out an idea here. I really do not know. So I started to think about who is going to be Tiffany Stratton's opponent. I'm still expecting her to be champion by the time Evolution 2 hits. You know, she's still going to be WWE Women's Champion in my opinion. So now, who will she actually face though? I started to go, okay, what if this is a place where we end up seeing a cash-in? And we just saw Naomi qualify for the Money in the Bank. What if Naomi wins the Money in the Bank and she cashes in against Tiffany Stratton over at Evolution 2? And what if this happens when Tiffany Stratton is wrestling none other than Bianca Belair? So Bianca is still not like fully, like it doesn't seem like she's fully healed yet or cleared from her finger injury, but I'm pretty sure she will be by Evolution 2 is my assumption. What if we end up having Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca Belair, which is something I secretly want because they're both so acrobatic and I just want to see them wrestle. So I want to see Tiffany Stratton versus Bianca with the possibility of a Naomi cash-in. So I know this one's kind of, you know, I don't know if it's in the realm of possibility. There might be a scenario by the time we get to Evolution. It might be Naomi versus Bianca, or hell, it might be Bianca versus Jade. I don't know, but I ended up going with this outcome. I don't know. So as I was looking at the SmackDown women, I started to think about how Charlotte Flair absolutely had to be on the Evolution 2 card, but whom would she face? I even thought about the possibility of running back Tiffany and Charlotte, but then I'm like, no, I don't think that's gonna happen, and I don't think it should. So I started to think, who else have they made any teases with or any sort of motions with at any point? And so I started to remember that there were several moments that we have seen little confrontations between Charlotte and Jade Cargill. So I ended up going with the Charlotte Jade route. And, Charlotte right now is kind of having a hard time with the audience where they're like booing her tremendously. I think it would be really kick ass if we saw her put on one of Jade's best performances in WWE, because I think Charlotte could definitely give her the match of a lifetime. That's kind of where I went with this direction. But yeah, I can't imagine Charlotte not being on this card. Alrighty, so this next one, I kind of went in more of a dream scenario kind of situation. I think this one is not as realistic as some of the other ones in this video, but it is Jordynne Grace versus Nia Jax. So I truly don't even know what the situation is with Jordynne Grace as of this video. I don't know if she's going to Raw. I don't know if she's going to SmackDown. So then I thought she obviously has to be on the show. Who would she be in a matchup with? I think it would have to be Nia Jax. And the only reason I say that is because I secretly want to see this match, because I just want to see it, because I feel like Jordynne and Nia would be kind of interesting to see how they work together, especially because of what a powerhouse Jordynne Grace is. So I think that's why I'm intrigued by the idea of doing this. So I'm kind of gambling with this one, but I'm going with it. So next up, we have NXT. NXT is a brand that I think has just been really killing it with the women. And there are a million matchups that they can do with the women of NXT. But I was trying to be a little bit more realistic with what would fit into Evolution, especially if you're sharing time with the main roster women. And obviously, we know the main roster women are going to get a little extra love. Now, on top of that, the day before Evolution, we're going to have NXT Great American Bash. So I'm expecting to see a new champion be crowned at NXT Great American Bash. Who that champion is, I don't know. I have two possible theories right now. One, it could be somebody that has been doing a good job on NXT, has been killing it, thriving, you name it. Someone that has a lot of popularity and people like Jada Parker. I'm throwing that out there. What if Jada Parker somehow gets back into the title picture and she becomes NXT Women's Champion, right? That's one prediction. The other one is, well, what if Mariah May is here by this point? What if Mariah is NXT at this point? She would be champion, I think, instantaneously. And I'm predicting JC Jane is a transitional champion. I'm not expecting like a long reign for her. So that's why I'm thinking that a new champion would be crowned at Great American Bash. So then I'm thinking, okay, WWE loves to do battle royals. I'm not really big on battle royals, but it's a great way to get people on the card, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, well, what if on Evolution 2 they decide to do a battle royal to determine the new #1 contender for the NXT Women's Championship? Preferably, I'd prefer something like a fatal 4-way to determine the new #1 contender. I would prefer that better. Actually, screw this idea. Nope. Screw this idea. I'm switching gears. Okay, wait, actually, I'm gonna go with a fatal 4-way. Hold on. I got an idea here. I'm going to say fatal four way, women's championship #1 contender. Yes, I wrote like crap. That doesn't even say the things I just said. And then what if I'll keep the battle royal idea possibility open, but instead to determine the #1 contender for the NXT North American Women's Championship. This is so stupid. I'm like trying to think of everything to make everyone happy and make everything fit in here. Anyways, so what if they do that? What if they do a fatal 4-way for the NXT Women's Championship to determine the #1 contender, or hell, maybe we have whoever's champion by then defend again the second night. Like, you never know. That person could defend on Great American Bash and also defend on Evolution 2. That would be real badass, right? Back-to-back defenses. But I don't know. I think I see a scenario more where there's a champion, newly crowned champion, but I think there's a better chance of a newly crowned champion happening at Great American Bash and then seeing a #1 contendership spot form at Evolution 2 just again so that we can get more women on the card. This was hard, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really struggled with this video because, except for the Raw side, I feel pretty good about the Raw side, but I struggled with it because there are so many women, you can go so many directions. Like, I can't even believe how many options there are. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you're like, damn it, Denise, you forgot this, you forgot that. What about this person? What about that person? I'm sorry. I struggled, okay? And this was the best that I can do at this moment. We're still weeks away from this happening, a little bit over a month. So we'll see what happens as we get closer and what the build looks like for Evolution 2. Now, before I wrap up this video, I do want to throw out some other suggestions of things that I want to see happen at Evolution 2. And one of those is that I hope we do get to see Beth Phoenix come back to maybe do some commentary. Last time I believe Renee did commentary. I think you should definitely have a female on commentary. So I hope Beth comes back for that. Another thing that I want to see is some of the legends come back and make some little cameos and appearances. Maybe people that appeared in Evolution, the first Evolution, the inaugural one. Some names that I was thinking here that I think would be really cool: Ronda Rousey, Nikki Bella, Lita, Mickey James, Molly Holly, Tori Wilson, Paige, etc. Another name that I think would be really cool to, even if she was just to make an appearance, this is time she should come back, get her flowers. Hell, maybe she's like in the corner of Roxanne Perez, or maybe she confronts Roxanne Perez for being a bad girl. I don't know. I feel she should come out and do something. I don't know what. Put her out there. I think that it would be a really special moment to see something like that, especially now that CM Punk is back and has been back in the company. I feel like it's something that we should be seeing. Oh, and then I forgot to mention Brie Bella, of course. I would love to see Brie. So yeah, there's a bunch of people that, legends of the women that you would love to see on the show. I just want this to be a real cool celebration of past and present women's wrestling, and also helping shape what the future is going to look like. And hopefully this event does well, so that we don't have to sit here and wait several years for it to happen again. So with that being said, that is today's video. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. Please do not forget to head on over to MyBookie and use that promo code Denise. Please support our sponsors. They are incredible. So it would really mean the world to me if you guys did. And then on top of that, if you enjoyed this video, may I suggest you check out this video that I just posted in regards to Mariah May possibly heading to WWE. And then also, if you enjoyed that, feel free to subscribe to the channel for more daily pro wrestling content. Catch you guys on the next one. And don't forget, the women are money.